They call it the EliteBook X G1a. This is their 14-inch model. I got a chance to get my hands on this at CES, and I must say this is a really good looking device. In regards to the choice of CPU that they've made, they've gone with the AMD Ryzen. Let me get this right. I was confused what this one is called. The AI9 HX 375. Now, it comes at a base model with the AI7 Pro 360. So we have a few different price points of this model. I'm going to go ahead and switch over and show you the model that I have and how it's priced. Let's see, we'll go ahead and jump over here. This is the model that I'm about to unbox. $21.99. This comes with 32 gigs of RAM. The AI9 HX 375 should have fantastic battery life. Around 17 hours of battery life is what they're anticipating. Great performance inside of Photoshop, video editing, and all without a dedicated GPU. I think it's going to make for an awesome device. But right now in this video, for this live stream, we're going to go ahead and get it unboxed and see what it has to offer from a build quality and user experience standpoint. Now, first and foremost, you want to definitely go ahead and dive into this with me, of course. So switching over to that top camera, and what we're going to do is go ahead and pull that out for the first time. As you can see, for the HP EliteBook, we have two USB Type-Cs, HDMI, and a headphone jack. And on the other side, we have a Kensington lock. We have a USB Type-A, as well as a USB Type-C. So a lot of ports and connectivity on this device. And as you saw on the other side here, you have a little thing. Let's switch cameras. This will be helpful to show this. You have a little thing called Poly Studio. I don't know if you can read that right there, but that's Poly Studio, which means that this device is equipped with a Poly Studio webcam as well as a Poly Studio microphone. Now, the nice advantage of this is it's going to be far better improved audio quality and video quality. And I'm hoping if this device is able to be like booted right up, if I don't have to go through all the Windows stuff, that we could show you the webcam in this video. If not, I'll have to show you the webcam during the dedicated review. Okay, pulling the charger block out of the package, you can see a 100-watt charger block. I like this. That means that we're able to draw some good power from the wall, and that'll provide us with good performance when utilizing this device for video editing, Premiere Pro, in Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, whether doing graphic design work in the Adobe Creative Suite. We could be doing, Photoshop work, design work, art, if you're an artist. If you're able to pull that much power from the wall while you're plugged into your charger, you'll be able to get more out of the system. Now, most of these systems with the new Ryzen AI9 375, whether you're on battery power or off battery power, so like plugging in the charger, we're seeing nearly the same performance. So that doesn't make as big of a difference as it does in the past, but it still can make a difference in today's market. So good to see that they shipped with a good size charger block. Okay, let's go ahead and flip this thing over and check out the bottom cover. Now, right off the bat, the materials they've chosen for this device are really nice, firm, sturdy aluminum materials. You can see as I set this down, very little chassis press. Let's switch camera views so you can see that closer. Very little chassis press there. Flip it over for the top cover. Very minimal chassis press as well on the top cover. And you can see it's fit nice and flush into the bottom cover. Really good design here. And I love this aluminum color. It's almost like a white. It's a very, very, very light silver. It almost comes across as almost a white tone, which I absolutely love. So really great look. This is just an aesthetic. Let me see if I can show you that on the side camera. This bar here is just aesthetic. It actually doesn't really do anything. But what it does help with, let's say you open your lid and then you go to close your lid, it's like kind of a different texture. So maybe it helps you pull it down a little bit. But that's just aesthetic. And then the nice HP logo right there on top. Really good looking device. And the rounded edges, everything I feel like they've done well. I mean, it feels great in my hands. Very cool. All right, the next thing we're going to do is open up the laptop. Let's get it fired up. And let's see what we boot into. Ooh, nice. Okay, as you can see, we have a two-tone keyboard deck. So we have the deep gray. It's not black. It's a deep gray keyboard deck beneath the keys. And then we have this aluminum that looks really nice. I'm guessing upward facing speakers, but I can't promise that at the moment. Those might just be some ventilation, but they may be speakers. I cannot remember from CES if they're speakers or not, but we will test that. Hopefully we boot right in and don't have to go through Windows setup, but we might have to. Yes, we do. All right, well, that's not the end of the world. Okay, now I'm going to go through and look at the keyboard while we're just kind of clicking through some of this setup. Manual click trackpad. I'm going to go ahead and try and jump into my network. Maybe we can get this set up while we're right here on the spot. All right. The trackpad is nice. It's not a haptic trackpad, but it's very quiet to the click. Here. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear that. It's so nice and quiet. And I'm going to see if I can test out the keyboard. I don't want to mess any of the setup here. So quiet. Even the space bar is nice and quiet on the device. And so overall, this feels like an exceptionally premium device. This for HP is a rebrand this year. They've really upped their game for the EliteBook series. It was the EliteBook 1000s before. Now they've rebranded, launched brand new, and just the quality of this seems next level from other EliteBooks I've seen in the past. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the top camera. And as you can see from the top camera here, they have the hinge connection point here, and they even have some supporting hinge connections right here. So it all is holding together very, very nicely. Man, I just really love the feel of this in my hands. Okay, the next thing I am going to take a look at is going to be the internal components. So I'm going to go ahead, grab my tools set and start to take this thing apart. Unfortunately, boot up just takes way too long with these devices. So hopefully I don't mess anything up. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. But one more time, as you can see, that's a really good look. I love the keyboard deck. It's nestled very nicely. It really looks really good. And I will say, I mentioned earlier, are these upward facing speakers? When it did that initial Windows doo-doo sound, it sounded as if these were upward facing. But again, that will have to be determined during the full review. Okay, I'll be right back. I forgot to grab my tools. I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to take off the bottom cover and let's see if we can get into the upgrade path of this device. I don't know how difficult that's going to be. Sometimes it's super difficult to get these laptops opened. I hope it's not for the sake of this unboxing because that would make for a very, very long review. I'm going to grab my tools. All right, didn't take too long there. Let's go ahead. Simple. Here we go. So we got 4 screws on the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I hope those are the only screws. Sometimes they hide screws, and I really hope that in this instance they didn't hide any screws from us. Otherwise, this is going to be a bit tricky. All right, looks like we're not going to be as problematic as I hoped. This is always the scariest thing I do when reviewing a laptop. I must admit, I've actually broken a laptop before doing this. And so that is never a good feeling. Let's go ahead and switch it over to the top camera so you can kind of have a different angle on this. Okay, so we're almost open here. All right, nice, not too challenging. Okay, so if you want to make any upgrades or changes to your device, not too challenging on this new EliteBook. Hat off to HP for that. That is really good news. Okay, it looks like we have access to, of course, the battery and a singular M.2 slot. I'm not sure how that's fastened down there. I'm not going to mess with that and pull that up. Wait, actually, I might mess with this and pull this up. No, maybe I won't. There's a little hatch on that. So I'm guessing the hatch pulls off, but I don't want to fuss with it. So if you wanted to upgrade, you would, should I not? Yeah, there's just little teeth there. No, don't want to break it. Okay, so we have an SSD, full-size SSD. It's not a partial size. And then we have two nice large fans. There's an improved thermal chamber in this system. That's something they highlighted in the review workshop before, they kind of send you the device. They check and they show you some things. And so it was really cool seeing that they have an improved thermal chamber for this device. We're seeing quieter fan noise, I think around 38 decibels for most use cases. And then also the thermals remaining low as well. Now, one thing I want to do is I want to look through this real quick to see if there's any other key details I want to highlight about this device. Now, of course, they are talking about the AI companion that they're shipping. Everybody's got their AI companion. HP is also going to be talking about that as well. But a cool thing is this is made of 80% recycled material, 80% recycled aluminum, 50% recycled copper, 50% recycled plastic, 30% ocean-bound plastic, and 20% recycled cooking oil. That is very interesting. What is that used for? The bezels, made with at least 20% recycled cooking oil. That is so interesting. So anyway, if you're interested in it being all recycled, there you go. Now, the ports on the side, to clarify, we have Thunderbolt 4, and then USB-C 10 gigabytes per second. So two Thunderbolt 4 ports, and then we have USB 10 gigabytes per second. So that's how it breaks down for the ports. So Thunderbolt 4, USB-C, and on the other side, Thunderbolt 4. So we have good configuration for the ports, and of course, HDMI 2.1. So a nice, fast, quality HDMI. But overall, man, I don't know what y'all are thinking of this device, but it looks really professional. It has a very nice build quality and aesthetic I'm seeing for this device. Overall, I'm very happy with the build and assembly of it. I was unsure getting my hands on it in the studio. You see it at CES and you're like, oh, that looks pretty good. But I wonder what it's going to be like when I actually get my hands and start to kind of play around with it in the office. In your normal environment, when you're using a device, it puts into perspective against other devices in the environment. And out of everything I've seen in my studio lately, this is going to be a top contender for something that I would say has just high quality in regards to build material. They've done a great job with the device. This side angle, I like this new side angle. Tell me if y'all like this new side angle. I'm really loving this. This has been a fun addition to the studio, especially for live streams. I feel like I can show off the device a little bit more with this side and the top angle. Anyway, I've been chatty Cathy enough on this live stream. I've live streamed a bunch and I've really enjoyed it. Now, if you're curious again about the exact pricing and availability, you can head down in the description below, click those links. Might be able to go ahead and get this device ordered. I'm going to go ahead and be benchmarking this and come out with a full review to come on the channel, so keep an eye out. Ask your questions if you want to know, hey, does this device perform this way or that way? What are you looking for to learn about this device? Comment on the unboxing, and I hope in the full review I can answer your question for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will, of course, see you in the next video.